I'm John Batchelor. This is the John Batchelor Show. The murder of the Fogels in a settlement in Israel on the West Bank. Itamar, it's called. A family asleep. Mom and dad and several children. One or more assailants entered the house very straightforwardly. In this settlement, they do not lock doors. There is high trust between people. And murdered 5 people, including a 3-month-old and a 4-year-old, with knives. Who are they? Immediately afterwards, the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, which is a terror wing of Fatah, the party led by Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who has not been elected recently, took credit and then withdrew the credit. So the mystery right now is who are the people, what are their names, and why they did this. Bret Stephens, writing Global View for the Wall Street Journal, is here, and the larger question here is the murder of the Fogels here in the 21st century. Have we learned anything from the 20th century? Bret, a very good evening to you. The Fogel massacre is so grim that it's been difficult for several of my correspondents to speak about it for 3 days, and I'm very pleased that you wrote about it. So my first question to you is, the murder of the Fogels, why now in the 21st century? Why do we have to confront this horror now? What has happened?
Well, it's worth going into some of the details of what happened. They weren't simply murdered in their beds. They had their throats slit in their beds. We're talking about a couple and children ages 11, 4, and a 3-month-old baby killed with a knife in her crib. It is simply staggering. But you can say, John, that there are psychopaths in any society who are prepared to do this. What isn't so common is the psychosis of a civilization, of a society, the Palestinian society, that responds to this gruesome, grisly murder by handing out candies in the streets of Rafah, as the citizens, the residents of that town, of that Gaza Strip town, did the day after the murder. I mean, it goes deeper than just simply what 1 or 2 terrorists did to a family in their beds. It has to do with the reaction of the Palestinian people themselves, or some segment of the Palestinian people, and it also has to do with the relative indifference of most of the world to not only this incident, but many other incidents like it, of families slaughtered in precisely this kind of grotesque way. How is it that after an incident like this, those in the West who have been fellow traveling with the Palestinians for many years, many decades, don't stop and think, what has gone wrong with this movement? Is this still a movement that's worth supporting? And what does this betoken? What does this suggest about the future of Palestinian society when they celebrate such an orgy of bloodletting as was seen Friday night?
The puzzle